Could we ask all of the coaches and team officials who are standing in the aisleway, Team Russia, could you please take a seat, please, in the stands? Team Russia, could you please take a seat in the stands? Do not stand in front of other people.
Hello and a very warm welcome. We are here in the Copper Box in London. As you can see behind me, it's the first day of the Para World Taekwondo Championships. If you're totally new to the sport, there's lots to enjoy, lots to learn as well, and we'll get a chance to get a feel for that over the next 4 days of Olympic and Paralympic Taekwondo action. And for you, here is today's menu of choice. Well, as you can see, the athletes are just about getting ready to get organised. And it is time for the second round here. As we can see, it's Joseph Lane from Great Britain against Vasilios Pantalagios from Greece. So Greece against Great Britain, tightly poised at 10 points to 9. And I'm more than delighted to welcome highly experienced referee Chris Codling. Obviously, Chris, you've commentated and you've helped me before in terms of the media, so we're trying to explain to the watching public the differences. What are the rules that we look out for? How are the points scored? And in terms of, you've obviously refereed at European Championships, World Championship, Olympic level. Yep. This is the first time for the Para World Championships to be here. What are we looking out for in terms of the scoring? Right, okay. Well, a lot of the scoring is still the same. The main differences are we actually don't do head kicks in Para Taekwondo. Okay? Obviously because people can't protect themselves in the same way as you can in normal Taekwondo. So in the Para game there is no head kicks. We don't allow punches. And also we have a different scoring system for some of the kicks. The basic kick comes in, which is 2 points, same as normal Karugi. In the Para, we have a spinning technique, which gets an extra point, which is exactly the same as the Karugi. But we have recently just added an extra 2 points if they do a 360 technique. And of course, the more difficult the technique, the more points you're going to get. The more points they're going to get. So this can actually mean for a normal body shot, it's 2 points. For a spinning body shot, it's 3 points. And then they get 4 points if they do a 360 technique, which means the body turning fully. So points make prizes in this one, and we're already well into this second round here. So obviously, it is, as we say, the first day for the Para World Championships. Big occasion, a big stage. Obviously, we've got the athlete's perspective, and we'll get a chance to chat with the coaches later on. Clear for all to see. Athletes have various capacities, various abilities, and we'll get through those kind of classifications as to who is allowed to fight against who. But obviously, as a referee, from the Olympic style into the Paralympic style, it's not that big an adjustment, really. It's, as you've often taught me, Chris, it's just red against blue.
That's all it ever is. It's red against blue. When we're refereeing, we don't see it any differently. The athletes, as you can see, have a lot of ability, and that's what we're here just to show and showcase their ability. And I like the new scoring system because it means people will try the more advanced techniques and they will be awarded for doing so.
And that is what it's all about here. And obviously we're just having a little bit of running repairs as well from the medical team. As Chris Codling has rightly told us, there's no head kicks, but perhaps just a little clash there on the way through. And obviously we're trying to give you a run the rule over the rules as well, but obviously you can enjoy the match. And this one is tightly poised, as you can see. Obviously Joseph Lane a couple of points down, the youngster from Great Britain. I was talking with Andrew Deere, who was obviously an Olympic standard athlete.
Yes.
He's now coaching, so different dynamics for them. We might get a chance to talk with Andrew later on.
One of the things that we now have is when it actually, if somebody does happen to kick to the head, then they will get a gam jump penalty for doing so, because obviously in para it's not allowed. And we base it basically on the fact of if there's contact, there will be a gam jump. But we can actually say if the other person is ducking out the way, then they get a gam jump if it wasn't the attacker's fault. Got you.
And it's a lot of different things, but I'm sure anyone that's watching, pretty expert in Taekwondo. If they're new, it'll come to you as we go along. The referees and the corner judges, 3 corner judges, as is the Olympic standard. Yes. As well. And of course the video review available, but the only thing that really matters at the moment, an 8-point gap in favour of Panagotios from Greece. He's on form, he started well, looks like a seasoned campaigner as well.
Yeah, we just had an additional point added there for obviously a spinning technique.
And that step through back kick just missing from Panagotios as we creep towards the end of the second round. Good back kick attempt again, scores nicely. And he's not slow with the back kicks, Chris.
He's not slow at all. His actual kicks are going in. He's getting the extra points. As you can see on the system, there's 2 judges have pushed for that actual back kick, which then adds the additional point for the actual technique.
And speaking of technique, not only were you a referee, you were a fighter as well. You know what it's like. Obviously, if you've got a good lead, do you defend now? But also, if you're in the British corner and you're Andrew Deere, the coach, what can he do? Because there's a lot of back kicks, a lot of high-value scores going in against him.
Yeah, I mean, the player just needs to actually watch his positioning. It's all about positioning with Taekwondo, and where you're standing, when you're attacking, how much are you allowing the other person to counter-attack. That's what it's all about, and he keeps getting caught with the back kick.
Yeah, well, will Joseph Lane have learned from that one? And he's got another minute and 30 seconds to go here. Final round, nice touch of the gloves from both men. Nice double kick attempted there from Lane. Bit more attacking intent. And let's see, has he learned? Has he changed his game plan? Well, we can see Panagotios always shuffling around. Referee having a look at that, Chris.
Yeah, because he's actually moving back and showing no attempt to actually fight, he's got a gam jump penalty for that.
And is it the same amount of gam jumps as the Olympics? Is it 10 and you're out?
Yeah, it's the exact same in the para as it is in the normal Olympic style. Caught again with a back kick there, straight away. Referee's seen something on the floor, got it out the way. Yeah,
you've got to have sharp eyes to be a ref, as you know, run the rule over it and keep the fighter safe. But safely leading himself into the next round here. Panagotios again with that step through back kick.
Yeah. Need to be very careful here. He's coming in the 3rd round. He's making attempts, raising his leg a little bit too much. He may get warned for that if he carries on.
But we're carrying down the home stretch here. 14-point advantage in favour of Greece. Good shot there from Joseph Lane. He's got a bit of momentum coming now. Back into this one. 10-point match, 30 seconds.
Yep, he's actually come into it if he keeps on pushing him.
Well, he's got his tactics right now, Chris.
Yeah, he's actually changed his tactics. You can see the difference. Looks like he's getting a little bit tired as well.
Well, no shortage of intensity or fighting spirit, as you would expect. Good back kick there from Joseph Lane. He's pulling himself back into this one. Into the last 10 seconds now. 7-point gap. Referee separates them, and they're going to have a chat, Chris.
It looks like they're going to have a chat. An extra point was missed there for the back kick.
Oh, it's all to play for now. 6-point game. But you can see for yourself, not much time left in the clock. Joseph Lane looked down and out. Can he pull himself back into this one? Vasilios Panagotios goes again with the back kick. Slips round the corner as the clock ticks down. Goes for the high value back kick. Lane, but it's going to be too little too late for Joseph Lane. Tried the spin. Lovely block there from Vasilios Panagotios, and what a performance there from the man in blue. And my goodness, Chris, he had to work.
He did work. He had to work towards the end. He was actually the GB player was actually come back at him very strong in that last round and made him work for it.
He most certainly did. Great credit to both Joseph Lane and Vasilios Panagotios, but it is the Greek that advances, and it's certainly not a tragedy for Joseph Lane. Did his best there, good performance, and lots to look forward to as well. Chris, will you stay with us for another match?
Yeah, I'll try.
You'll try to.
I'll try to. It's about how busy I am.
I'll fill you in on the dynamics of it all here. Chris is one of the chief referees, most experienced, and the centre referee chairman has to allot them to different tables, so we will take a little pause. If Chris is still with us for the next match, fantastic, and if not, well, we've learned plenty, as has Vasilios Panagotios, who advances to the next round. Well, I'm more than delighted to let you know that Christopher Codlin is going to stay with us and give us a little run through on this match as well. And it is a match between Turkey and Brazil, and of course they're just testing the chest protectors, and this is the formalities they go through before the match. And a centre referee from Aruba, not quite as warm as tropical Liverpool, Chris.
Definitely not. Yeah, it's a place I want to go, and he's a good friend of mine, Chaco, so hopefully I'll get there one day and be able to go over with Chaco.
No question. Chaco Cornelius, the man in the middle, and it is Debra Menez, the Brazilian, and the Turk Nur Emsish, she's in red. And we're of course in the copper box in London, just in the shadows of the Olympic Stadium here in London. Hard to believe, Chris, as we see the first 2 points sneak on the board there for Nemez. 5 years since the Olympic Games were here.
It's time's travelling too fast. Obviously, Taekwondo's moved on a lot since then as well. The development, it keeps continuing. Rules are changing all the time, so it's actually getting more and more spectator friendly.
And that's what it's all about, is to make sure that you get plenty of entertainment, and it is of course fantastic. We talk about the Taekwondo family. That's a bird that we bandy around as the twisting kick lands there from Menez. She started well, the Brazilian, a 6-point lead, but it's great to have the Paralympians getting a good showcase as well. And this goes back because we look at this venue and we just assume, oh, this is normal, this is what it's like. For the Paralympians, this is the best set-up venue that they will ever have experienced, under the TV lights, big audience on the BBC watching around the world, and it's a big occasion. But this evolved, and I'd like to talk a little bit as we creep towards the break here, as a handy 8-point lead for Menes. Ian Leaf, in terms of organisation, pulling this together from the basic origins of the Grand Prix 8 to 10 years ago to what we have now.
Yeah, exactly. We've been running many championships over the years, and Ian started with the GB setup and started with the Grand Prix, which we actually did the first ever Grand Prix in Manchester. And basically the development, you can see as time has gone on, the improvements, and the reason why we'll be hosting the World Championships come 2019.
And that will be in
Manchester.
Yep, Manchester, the hosts for that one. And of course Manchester more than au fait with the battle between red and blue, as is your own Liverpool, Chris.
Of course.
But we'll talk about how that battle's going off mic, just in case you get too excited. Although 8-0, not far away from the Liverpool score the other night.
Score the other night, 7-0, yes, correct.
A good gap, and it is a healthy gap so far for Debra Menes. Nur Enkish of Turkey, she's in red. And of course, as you can see, trying to use that front leg to good effect. Good control of distance. But Memes, well, she's got a really good little hook kick on the inside there, Chris.
She has, and she's also using a technique which seemed to leave Taekwondo for a while, but with the new scoring systems come back and people are using a twisting kick. It's really great to see.
Twist and shout.
Exactly.
It's just another Liverpool reference for you. That's it. I've got a list here that Chris has told me that I have to work my way through here. But working our way through this second round, it's as we were, 8-0. Debra Nemec has a good lead. What we saw before with Lane from Great Britain, who managed to fight his way back into it. Can Emkish do the same here? But we want to talk about intensity here. Nemec really brawling.
Yeah, she's actually really going for it. And the reason for that is a lot of players actually do it is they realise that at the end of the second round, if they have a 20-point gap, there's no reason to do a third. The match is over. We will stop the match at the end of the second round, just like we do in Olympic Taekwondo. It's exactly the same.
And it's going to be, oh, there's that little twisting kick that Chris warned us about. Emkish couldn't hear it, and there's a back kick that lands with a great thud. Well, she's on the cusp, Chris, and that back kick looked to take the wind out of the sails there of Emkish. And I think the referees are going to add that 1 point, Chris.
Yeah, they're adding the extra point for the back kick, which should go on the system. The referees have a button which they push when they see the back kick, so sometimes the timing might be slightly out, but they have the right to raise the hand and get the points on the system, so we're fair and we're making sure we're getting the right score all the way through the match.
We're talking about getting the right score all the way through the match and getting it right on time. Can she steal another two and shut the door early? She can. Will she take a gamjon for falling?
Yes, she will. Every time a player hits the floor, they receive a gamjon.
And that takes us to the end of the second, which means, as Chris Corling has told us, we will creep into a third.
No,
we won't, just on the last second. There you go.
There you go. She got the points. Match is finished.
Yep, she got it done in double quick time. Debra Menes from Brazil. What a performance from her. And Chris, I'm going to let you go back and do your other job if they will let you. I think you've got a career in this, Chris. You should sneak on the mic more often.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon. Hopefully you'll see me on the mat.
Good man, Chris. Well, we'll give you a good shout out then. Thanks for all the explanations, and we will roll on to the next match in just a few moments' time. So we're of course going to stick with the centre court here in the copper box, and it will be, that's court number 1, and we have much more entertainment for you. A couple of great matches so far. Close from Joseph Lane against Vasilis Panagothios, but it's the Greek that advances, and we just saw Debra Menes doing the same there. And as you can see, Both athletes just getting ready here. Serge Sambona, the centre referee, running the rule over this one himself, a former fighter, so he knows his way around the mat. As both fighters get ready to rumble here. Serbia against Turkey. Ana Semanic, the Serb. Nurcan Enkici from Turkey. We just saw the success there of Brazil against Turkey. Can Enkici do something about that? Get her compatriots back on track here. The Turk, she's in blue, the Serb in red. 0-0 so far. Good little turning kick to the body there. Enkici scoring freely. As we creep into the last minute of the opening round here. Both fighters just looking for distance at the moment, checking for the gap. Tomic Semanic just slipping back there, trying to do the counter back leg turning kick. The fighter in red from Serbia, just warding off the advances of her rival. But it's been a good start for Enkici. Couple of point gap. The matches can change in the very last seconds into the closing stages of the first round here. Comfortable so far for Team Turkey. Luchar Enkici creeps back to the corner with a very slender 2-point gap. And I hope you're enjoying the first day here at the World Para Taekwondo Championships. We won't get too far ahead of ourselves, but we do have great Grand Prix action for you over the next 3 days as well, so a feast of Taekwondo for you to enjoy. The referees are calling them back out for the start of the second round here. Enkici sneaks another nice little shot in under the guard. Good response there. Tomic Semanic halves the deficit, 4-2. Looking for options, looking for a space here. And the back leg turning kick just falling a little bit short. Tomic looking for a gap, tries a little push kick under the guard, well blocked there. Enkici of Turkey working her way through. Lands a couple of shots of her own. And of course the fighters will fight all the way through to the medal matches, which will be later on in the schedule for you to enjoy. Those medals are very much in the distance for both fighters, trying to bridge that gap there. Good step through from Enkici, a little push. Will she take a Gamjon for falling over? She most certainly will. Five-point gap, normal service resumed here. Enkici, she's performing fantastic well. We're keeping towards the last stages of the second round here. Good back leg turning kick, stepped and avoided there by Semanic. It was a better second round from the Serb, but she's trudging off tired there. Big occasion. As we mentioned, this is the best that's been laid out for the athletes, a big opportunity, but with that comes the pressure, and handling it slightly better at the moment, Enkici. we go, third and potentially final round. Of course, you can go into the golden point round if it's all tied up. And trying to pull herself back into this one, Tomic Simanic. And no shortage of fighting spirit. Can she get her game plan right? Back leg turning kick, almost scoring there from the Serb. But Nurcan and Kichi looking good at the moment. Did all of her best work in the second round. And just closing the door slowly on the Serb now. Last 40 seconds now. Well, it goes from bad to worse for Tomic Simanic. No shortage of effort and intensity, but it's been the timing. Nurcan and Kichi's footwork's been better. She's controlled the distance, moved around nicely, and landed some good body shots to boot. And she certainly booted the body of the Serb. Simanic, well, you can see her gasping for air here. The game plan's been better for the Turk in blue. And Simanic, well, it's all over bar the shouting now. Tries with one last charge forward there. Credit to the Serb in red. But it's all over bar the shouting now. And Kichi, a deserved winner of this one. And she moves ever closer to a World Championship medal here. There's Sambona giving confirmation of that one. Good performance. A nice show of respect after kicking each other for the last 3 rounds. A nice show of mutual respect. All's fair in love and war, and it was certainly fair enough there for the winner. Nurcan and Kichi advances for Team Turkey. So of course in September of this year, Para Taekwondo was announced that Taekwondo would be an official Paralympic sport for the first time come the Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020. So lots to look forward to for these athletes. These are of course now about gaining ranking points on that trail to Tokyo. So big occasion and big points and a big match coming up. Just about see in your picture there, Iran against Russia. Ahmadi Purmahamad from Iran. This is the category K44, the under 75 kilogram. Well, he's only lost once in 4 years, has the Iranian in blue. And who was it against? Well, you've guessed it. Dmitry Volkov, the man in red. So they know each other well. Let's see what the man from Iran can produce here. Repeat or revenge as they get ready for this one. 3-time world champion Mahdi Purmahamad from Iran in blue starts straight away with the back leg turning kick. Good little shot underneath from Volkov. Purmahamad on the back foot at the moment here. Volkov working his way through. The Iranian, of course, the top seed coming into this one. A 2-point gap between them. Purmahamad using the distance well. Volkov, of course, has 1 victory against him. And he's making it count here. 2-point gap. Extends that now to 4. Good shot there. Mahdi Purmahamad looking good. The man from Anzali Port, just outside Tehran. Plenty of Olympic pedigree. His father was an Olympic boxer, so combat sports run in the family. But Volkov doesn't care about the reputation. Clawed one back, but Purmahamad scores another shot there. And it's been an excellent battle. We've been treated to a real festival of footwork and fighting so far. Six-point gap. Volkov's given himself a window to get back into this one, but at the moment Madi Pourmohamed won the World Championships for the first time in 2013 and has been unstoppable ever since. Lost one Asian Games qualifier to Volkov, so it's just in terms of who can turn it on here. And of course, we talked there about the Paralympic status in 2020. The ranking points here will be very useful indeed for both men. And as a federation, it's a lot of learning for Taekwondo to make sure that the athletes get parity and a good showcase for their abilities. Good skip and turn and kick there from Pourmohamed, old school style. Flicked it onto the body, landed it perfectly. Back leg turn and kick as well. Volkov took a sore one. Was it to the knee or to the hip? The referee, the man from Morocco. Back on the feet from Volkov, zero sympathy. And he's back in amongst it, 10-point gap. Nice front leg shot again, followed up by a back leg from Pourmohamed. Of course, front leg, the leg closest to the fighter. And you can guess which one the back leg is, as it lands again there from Madi Pourmohamed. Now the redoubtable Russian, Ilya Volkov, got a real difficult obstacle. Seems to be limping slightly, that right leg. He's got a good stance though, as Volkov, the Russian. So good footwork, which allows him to get in, but got in, left the door open. And Pourmohamed really scored a great shot under the guard. Good shot from Volkov. Front leg sneaks him back into this. Madi Pourmohamed showing his class there towards the end of that. Oh, it's an engrossing second round and shut the door on the advances of Volkov. And he advances to the medals. Will anyone stop him? Well, Madi Pourmohamed, he's already 3 times world champion. Can he make it a 4th? Credit Ilya Volkov. And the winner in the end. There's your confirmation. Madi Pourmohamed into the next round. And of course, when it comes to talking about Taekwondo, it is a new phase to have para Taekwondo involved, so sometimes we make comparisons and it's totally irrelevant. It is Taekwondo. Everyone has different capacities in all walks of life, and this is just about the best of these athletes coming forward and fighting for their Paralympic journey, which begins rather fittingly here in the shadows of the London Olympic Stadium. To Tokyo, well, it's going to take them round the world and back again. And speaking of round the world representation, 210 athletes, 51 nations represented here. As you've seen for yourself, quality the watchword so far. So just a little impasse here as they gather the athletes. You can see Spain and Brazil readying themselves. They will be next for your entertainment. Well, we've already seen Débora Menezes from Brazil in the female classification K44. She managed to secure a win. What can the men do in their grouping this time? That match just a couple of moments away. Brazil against Spain. Should be a cracker. due to the short stoppage and the quick work there of Madi Pourmohamed, he made it look pretty easy against Volkov of Russia. And they've ran through it in double quick time, so just a little wait here to get the referees ready to go. The fighters are ready. I'm sure you are as well. But do stay with us, plenty more action to come. As you can see for yourself, the session timings there. We'll run up to the lunch break at 1 o'clock. We'll come back, we'll have an opening ceremony with all the bells and whistles you would expect, and a few demonstrations of what Taekwondo is about. And of course it's into the business end of the competition, where the fighters get their medals and their rewards. Again, apologies for the slight delay. We're just looking to get a referee for court number 1. And of course the athletes are ready, but we don't have any referee for court number 1. So we'll just wait for that. And of course, thank you for your patience. Once that gets resolved, the athletes are in place. They've been warming up frantically here, getting themselves in position and ready to roll, but as yet we're one referee missing, so check your local hostelries. That's usually where they hang about. I'm only joking. They'll just be going through the protocols, getting themselves ready for this one. We have to make sure that all the technology is working. I can see some referees getting themselves organised. They are in position. So the fighters' patience rewarded with a chance to fight each other. And of course, as I know myself as a former athlete, this is the most nervous time you've got before you go up against your opponent. As soon as the match starts, well, it's business as usual. But before it, you're still running game plans through your head, figuring out what to do to start. can see. Our centre referee in position, limbering up, getting herself ready for the action that's about to get underway here. Brazil against Spain. Nathan Turcato against Amado Garazada. Body protector test here in this men's under 75 kilogram category grouping. Category K, 44 different levels of capacity. Who's got the capacity to advance here? We're on to the match, much awaited from both men. Getting their footwork here into the open stance. Back leg turning kick attempted there from Turcato. Garagarza shifting round. The Spaniard, the slightly taller of the two. Nice hook kick attempt there, just forced up the push kick. Well, there it was again from Garzada. Manages to score the 2-pointer. Well, deep into the last minute here, opening round. You can see for yourself the scores. All tied up, back leg turning kick just missing. Lovely footwork from Turcato, slipping and sliding. Working well here, back leg, back kick attempt there from the Spanish fighter, Amado Garazgara. Understandable impasse, both men. Much of a muchness in terms of quality here. Looking for a space, change of stance from both men. Well, they've obviously studied each other. We'll have a chance to go back and discuss it with our coaches. Much to ponder. 2 points apiece at the end of, well, it's been a good first round. Back leg missing there from the Brazilian Turcato. And that brings the first round to a close. Well, Amado Garagarza, the taller of the two, he's the man in red. Nathan Turcato, the Brazilian. 2-2 at the start of this second round here, all to play for both men. Good pushing, you're now allowed to push in Taekwondo. Nice hook kick round the corner there from the Spanish fighter, Amado Garazgara. Scores nicely. Garza has been good value for this lead. Nice change of stance from Turcato and scores. And a little stick and change left, did well with it. Tries a back leg turning kick again. Turcato. Good aggression from the Brazilian. Changes stance, leaves a space. And filling it with his right foot there. Garagarza scores nicely. That's his extra point there for the Gamjon 2. Shot there from Turcato. Well, you could hear that one from halfway down Baker Street in London. Landed it with great power, the Brazilian. That one stung a little bit there. Garagaza, made of tough stuff, just shakes it off but leaves a space. Turcato seals it with a nice change and left leg on the inside, and he's changed the dynamic of this match. Has a Brazilian back leg turning kick again. Garagaza trying to mount a real attack now. Good work from the centre referee, just making sure that the protectors are in place. A little bit of a Gamjon. Oh, did well not to fall there. Well, I thought it was going to be a Gamjon. The acrobatic efforts of Nathan Turcato. What a round for the Brazilian. And 2 point gap for him. Nathan Turcato, his first go at the top level here for the World Championships. He's making a real impression. Trying to push towards the medal rounds, which will of course come after the 1 PM. Well, that's the allotted time that we've got so far. It could run quicker, and indeed a little bit slower depending on just the logistics, getting the referees ready, getting the fighters ready. Lots of learning here on day one of the World Para Championships. But running smoothly so far. Not so smooth for Gargazara of Spain, as he tries to step forward. A couple of turning kicks to the body. Doesn't score. Not for the want of trying. Open stance now. Both men eyeballing each other, looking for any sort of flinch, any sort of back leg space there, and it is Turcato. Well, no shortage of power on these left leg turning kicks. There's a nice little pat of respect there on the inside. An unintentional clash of legs. That one was intended, and it scored cleanly. Gargarza pulls himself back into this one here. Nathan Turcato tries with one of his own patented back leg turning kicks. He's been really good, the Brazilian. On this one, very hard to separate them, as the scoreboard would attest. Are we going into the golden point round? 20 seconds to decide. Back leg turning kick there from Gargazara. Gets himself in the lead. Nathan Turcato tries with the big high value back kick. Leaves himself betwixt and between. Staring down the barrel of a defeat here. The Brazilian, he's been so good so far. Tries another shot on the inside. Gargazara scores 14-12 into the last 5 seconds. Nothing to separate them other than the referee. Is it going to be the Gamjon for holding? It is. It's a 1-point game, just about to be added on. It should go to 14-13. The Gamjon was given. There we go, into the last seconds. Turcato tries to shoot. Can he score? Can he pull himself back in? The Brazilian, the clock beats him there in the last seconds. Amado Gargazara of Spain, well, he had to work for that one all the way through. But what a performance. Nathan Turcato so close there, and by the finest of margins, it is Gargazara who advances. Well, I feel a little bit sorry there for Nathan Turcato. Got himself back into it, had the game plan right. But the better man, Amado Gargazara, he is into the next round here. Will of course be the customary impasse when they get the athletes ready for the next fight. And just looking over the shoulders of the organisers here, it looks to be Turkey in the blue corner, and I think, yep, that looks like Mexico in red. So Turkey against Mexico, upcoming on court number 1. And by my mathematics, that will be Fatih Çelik against Juan Diego Garcia. And they will join us in just a moment. Indeed, Fatih Çelik against Garcia Lopez. Garcia Lopez against Çelik. They will of course do the customary check of the protectors. It's always interesting to decide who goes first. There's no protocol, it's just you decide, well, I'm going to kick first. Both men checking, well, you can see for yourself, it all looks okay. Fatih Selik against Juan Diego Garcia Lopez. Mexican red, trying to fake, trying to feint, trying to confuse Selik here. Selik shoots with the back leg turning kick. It's been lean times for Team Turkey so far. Can he get a bit of success? Changes stance. Nice little double kick on the way through there. Second one scores. There's a good shot. Selik advancing here. Back leg turning kick, what a shot. Followed up with 3 fantastic shots in a row there. Fatih Selik is really performing well. And just faking with that front arm, just confusing, bemusing, trying to draw his opponent in. Good back kick there from Garcia Lopez, perfectly timed. Leapt up into the air and leaps onto the scoreboard. And the man from Mexico adds another 2. Nice fake of his own. This one beginning to hot up as a contest. Back leg again from Selik. Nice push kick to the body. Garcia Lopez finding his form and finding his foot onto the protector. 13-7 now. Dying stages. Oh, it's a fantastic technique from Garcia Lopez. Textbook back kick. It's worked once in this first round. Will it do so in the second? Well, a top class tussle in the first round. Let's hope for more of the same in round 2. Garcia Lopez will be looking for a reversal of fortune. Fortune certainly favoured the brave at the moment. Selik in the lead, and deservedly so. Back leg turning kick, his timing is just perfect. Steps through again. And it's not just timing, it's the temerity of the Turk. He doesn't wait, doesn't stand on ceremony at all. Shows a nice back kick as well, and he's going to get an extra point, you would think, added for that. He does indeed. That's the effective scoring. Fatih Selik. Good value for it so far. Good shot on the inside there. Garcia Lopez. Timing from the Mexican there, just moved around nicely, made himself a small target, couldn't get on the board himself. Better there, tries with a little cut downstairs. Selik again with the back leg turning kick, just becoming perhaps predictable, the Turk. Doesn't look to be breathing too heavily, he's within his comfort zone here. Lovely footwork, thought about a back kick as well. Good shot from Garcia Lopez, but the response from Selik. Back into this one. And he doubles it up again. 24-11 now. Gamjon for holding, that'll change things. 24-12 it should be, and it will be. Well, he's been double the quality, he's got double the score at the moment, has Selik, and a nice little intimidating dance stroke fake there. He's been excellent so far, Fatih Selik. Juan Diego Garcia Lopez, lots to ponder in the Mexican corner. A very healthy crowd gathered here in the Copper Box. They're enjoying what's been fantastic fare so far. Top class para Taekwondo. Garcia Lopez will be looking for some way back into this one. Show of respect gives way to a show of force. Selik with that, well, it's that leg on the inside every time. So effective, and he's landed a sore one there to Lopez. It was up to the throat there. The referee's going to have a little look at that. Garcia Lopez, made of tough stuff, catches his breath, unintentional. Still stings plenty, but more so the score. And scoring again there, Fatih Selik. Nice spinning attempt there from Garcia Lopez. Perfect footwork from Selik, slips round the corner. His control of distance has been masterful so far. The Turk in blue. Last minute. Wonderful techniques there, no shortage of quality, just shortage of distance there. The reason for that, Fatih Selik, elusive as the gum guard escapes from Lopez's mouth. He's had to get his teeth into this fight here. It's beginning to ebb away from him, and there's confirmation. Winner by point gap victory there. It is a win for Fatih Selik, and Selik on to the next round. Well, Juan Diego Garcia Lopez will be disappointed for sure, but he can certainly be proud of his efforts there. A few spinning kicks at the end, just couldn't quite get the distance. And Fatih Selik, well, delighted and on the way through. The athletes, of course, now getting ready for the next match-up here. From my vantage point down here at ringside, I can see Morocco and I think it's Russia getting ready to rumble here. And of course, if you want any more background and profile on these athletes, go to the World Taekwondo website where they're building that Paralympic section. As you can see, Al Almi of Morocco against Fefanov. Vladimir Fefanov comes in as one of the favourites for this one. Strong competitor. Para Taekwondo, really popular and very strongly contested in Russia to make it onto the national team. Well, Vladimir Fefanov had some stiff competition, success in the European Championships. We'd love some success here at the Worlds. Sabah El Alami, he's the man in the way. Well, this one, the men's under 75 kilogram contest in the K44 category. And of course, categorisation, well, a hot topic in para sports. So the World Taekwondo Federation taking lots of advice from the International Paralympic Committee as to how best to adjudicate over those classifications, make sure that you've got fairness when it comes to the fighting. So evenly matched competitors, that is the watchword here. 210 of them from 51 different nations. And two of the top contenders gathering here, court number one at the copper box. Well, Vladimir Fefanov of Russia, the taller of the two, the man in red, comes in with a big reputation as well. Can Elami establish himself in this one? Thinks about the little push kick there, did the Moroccan. Takes the Gamjon for not doing the full technique. It has to be a clean and clear. You can't just block the leg. So signs of a little bit of nerves there from El Alami, and Fefanov holding the centre. Back kick just missed there. Fefanov having a good study of Alami. And the Moroccan just under a little bit of pressure here on the back foot. Takes another Gamjon for not engaging in the fight. And Vladimir Fefanov, well, he's shown real aggression, lands another body shot on the inside there. Well, we knew coming into this one that Fefanov was the form favourite. El Alami, cause for alarm for the Moroccan at the moment. Can he get himself on the board? Has to give Vladimir Fefanov more to think about. A relative procession so far for the Russian. And he's rushed into a 6-point lead. Last 30 in the first here. Thought about a spin kick and thought better of it. Well, all the tricks in the book now from Vladimir Fefanov. His confidence is up. And it is time up for El Alami. I know we're still in the first round here. Good attempt there from Moroccan, trying to get back into this one. Confidence hard to find, especially when you're up against someone that's trying to kick you around the ring, as has been the case. Good shot from El Alami, and that will give him a crumb of comfort to go back to his coach. Still in this contest, it didn't look as if it was going to be the case. A strong start from Vladimir Fefanov, and the Russian racing into a strong lead. Here we go into the second round here. There's a better ending to the round for El Alami. Tries to change the angle. Leaves himself right on the edge of the mat. If he puts both feet out, it would have been a Gamjon. And it is indeed. Referee has a close look. And if it was in fact for holding. And holding on to his lead and extending it is Vladimir Fefanov. And well, you can only feel sorry for El Alami now. Nowhere to go. And still lots of time to go against Vladimir Fefanov. I think this is a combination of exhaustion, big occasion here for the Moroccan, and of course the medical team are being readied. And the referee, well, you can see signs of movement there, some pain, but most importantly, well, you can see the close work from the medical team, just checking where the injury was sustained. So mercifully for the Moroccan, Alami, he looks to be okay. Perhaps a muscle pull or a muscle tear. Certainly went down quickly, but it was certainly a combination of the pressure from Fefanov, exhaustion, and I'm telling you, combat sports, it's a lonely old journey. You travel all the way around the world, you do your training, you get your visa, you make the journey. You come up against someone that's just a little bit better than you. And talk about fighting spirit as he stands to his feet here. El Alami, can he continue? He's having a good look to his coach here. Is the referee, are you okay to continue? Well, can he keep it going? El Alami, well, if you ever wanted to know what's required in terms of keeping it going, Vladimir Fefanov looks less than pleased to take the Gamjon. Perhaps it was a low kick on the other side. El Alami, the man from Morocco, dredging deep into his resources, trying to fight it through here. There's Vladimir Fefanov. Look at the control in the front leg from the Russian. El Alami bravely battling back into this one. Can he find something on the scoreboard? He deserves it. Tries a little turning kick, doesn't score. Well, he's just decided to throw caution to the wind here. And credit to the Moroccan, he's made a real fight of this second round. Looked as if he might not make it back to his feet, but he's still in there, lands the body shot, almost scoring. Fefanov, though, has a strong lead. And the redoubtable Russian, well, he looks as he's just having a stroll around London here. He's levels above his Moroccan opponent, but not in terms of fighting spirit. And the referee giving the Gamjon rightly here. Exhaustion has it put paid to the ambitions of El Alami. Oh, I've seen him rise from the ashes, so to speak, from before. Can he get to his feet? And the Moroccan really up against it. All he's got left is his desire to finish this match, and it will be the referee who takes it into his own hands. Credit to El Alami, up against the better man. Combination of exhaustion and quality. Let's not forget Vladimir Fefanov came in as the favourite and emerges victorious. And I think, well, we're going to have to surmise as to what's going on here. It is a full contact combat sport, and that is the nature of it. And I think we're seeing perhaps a knee injury that's put paid to the ambitions of Sabah El Alami. And to be fair, even at full steam, well, he would have to go really some distance to go against Vladimir Fefanov, one of the favourites, and the Russian deserved to take that win. Well, we talked about learning, we talked about how Taekwondo will advance towards the Paralympics in 2020. The medical staff, the support staff, the coaches. It's important that we get these learning outcomes right. And I think the medic wisely looking for some sort of assistance, probably a stretcher just to make sure that Sabah El Alami is okay to continue. Credit to the centre referee. And is he going to be okay to stand? Well, a combination of coach, a referee and medical staff. Just making sure that everything is okay. So Sabah El Alami, of course, not in too much physical distress, but obviously the biggest distress for him is that he has exited the World Championships. And his coach, of course, well, they'll run the rule over that one. Vladimir Fefanov was too good and too strong for too long, and he's made it through the Russian. One of the favourites, Russia against poor Mohammed of Iran. Well, what a potential semi-final that could be. Spare a thought for Sabah El Alami. Well, we've all been there, injured and exhausted and defeated, but mercifully okay. Well, there's the doctor on call. And wherever you're watching this from, if you've ever needed that medical assistance, you know when the race is run for today in terms of his efforts as an athlete, but mercifully he seems to be okay. There was no trauma, there was no major injury to the head, so it's a lower leg blow. Perhaps, yeah, I'm just looking at the doctor here. I think it's a twist of the knee. Top marks to the centre referee, who's made sure that the athlete, who wasn't in any fit state to continue, he stood, he tried to fight. El Alami will live to fight another day. Well, of course, observing the correct medical protocol. And as we can see, the protocol for today as well. There's your session times. Opening ceremony around 2 p.m. And of course into the finals at 6 o'clock. And it will be 6 o'clock sharp, we understand. And it will be medal matches straight away. Well, just to fill you in, of course, they're going through all the correct medical protocols. The fighter's safety paramount importance, of course, in any combat sport. And Sabah El Alami from Morocco, well, he'll not be the only one leaving the 4 days of Taekwondo action here in London with the odd bumper bruise. But sadly, that's all he'll be leaving with. There'll be no medals in the cabinet of the Moroccan. So if you're just joining us and you can see the schedule that's upcoming, there is of course an injury timeout. The previous match between Morocco and Russia ending, well, convincingly for Vladimir Fefanov, but also ending in injury for Sabah El Alami. You can just about see the gurney being wheeled in to the shot there. And I'm actually very, very impressed there with the efforts of the medical team. They could have rushed things and dragged the athlete away. As we've seen that before in many Taekwondo events. But they took their time, observed the medical protocol. And El Alami will be given the best of treatment. So, of course, a medical timeout here on court number 1. And the most important thing, Sabah El Alami is okay. It's an injury to his knee. And that has been confirmed now by the doctor, who's making sure it will be correctly transferred. It's the nature of combat sport, that's how it operates. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Vladimir Fefanov of Russia, a deserved winner. And that sets up an engrossing potential semi-final. Of course, the quarters to come before that. Well, of course, as we said, thanks for your patience. They've made sure that they've got all the athletes safely organised. Sabah El Alami, the man from Morocco. Well, he's absolutely fine, other than the fact that he's just been defeated. A knee injury put paid to the last of his efforts. But it was Vladimir Fefanov who was more than meritorious of advancing. And the Russian, well, he's going to be stiff competition. And speaking of which, the competition will continue now with Vitaly Nazarenko of Russia against Nikola Spajic of Serbia. Chad Cornelius, centre referee from Aruba, brings Russia against Serbia. All European top quality clash. Nikola Spajic, the man in red, also with the red belt. Of course, in para taekwondo, you're allowed to compete at the World Championships with a red belt and above, as is the case in Olympic taekwondo. So Nazarenko against Spajic. Will it be the more senior in terms of grade, Nazarenko, or the taller of the two, Spajic, who certainly wasted no time, the Serb, holding the centre of the mat. Also holding Nazarenko there. Was the fact that Russian who falls foul of the ref for that one.
Once again, those athletes for matches 119, 218, 318 and 417 are required athletes.
Gamjon separating them until the body shot there from Spajic pulls them into the lead marginally. First 30 seconds, 3-2 to Serbia.
1300 to 1400 hours, 1 through until 2 p.m.
Vitaly Nazarenko. He's looking a bit confused here, the Russian. His game plan hasn't worked so far. The aggression and the valour of Spajic paying off. The Russian on the back foot. And rushing forward is the Serb. Nazarenko sneaks a little shot under the guard. The referee gives the Gamjon for holding. And holding on to the lead, Spajic. A super effort from both supermen so far. 6 points apiece. There's just a little medal ceremony going on in the background. There is the Pumse version of para taekwondo as well, which is the kind of methodical forms reminiscent of kata, of karate. So the non-contact self-defense style, but the full contact fighting. You can see for yourself, 1 point gap in favour of Spajic. Well, the World Para Championships kicking off in fine style here in the Copper Box Arena here in London. Just next door to the Olympic Stadium, the site of so much success for so many athletes, but it is the trail to Tokyo that both fighters are interested in. Valuable ranking points. They'll be totted up after these points on the board. Spajic goes with the spin, changes it to a turning kick midway through. Nazarenko needs to change his game plan, changes it there nicely. Back kick attempt from the close distance from Spajic. Very difficult technique to land. Landing out of the mat there was the Russian. That Gamjon will help the cause of the Serb, but it hasn't been. Well, there it comes on the scoreboard now. 11-10. Distance just a little bit off from Spajic. Vitaly Nazarenko, 3 points down the Russian. Spajic, good value for that lead, but he's going to get a Gamjon for a little bit of a low kick there. Back kick just missing round the corner there from Nazarenko. Spajic steals another shot on the inside. The Serb, good strength as well in the clinch. Well, he's here for a fight. He may be a red belt, which is of course lower than the black belt. That hasn't proved to be any sort of difficulty for the Serb.
And our second ceremony will be underway very shortly.
But the clock's ticking on the efforts of Nazarenko. Gets a little 2-point shot. That'll help him back into this one. 4-point gap. End of the second period. And he's still hanging on in there. Vitaly Nazarenko. Nikolai Spajic. The 4-point gap. Well, tense times now for both fighters. Quarter-finals in the offing. Getting closer to the medal matches. Spajic against Nazarenko. Backline turning kick, well, it's proved to be the kryptonite so far for the Russian. Can't find a way past it. Good back kick attempt, left a little space. It's that jumping back kick on the inside from Spajic. It's so difficult to do, you have to jump straight up and throw your back kick around the corner of the guard. Hasn't worked for him so far. Still has the 6-point advantage, last 40 seconds. Shouts of davai, davai, which means to go for it, to fight. And Nazarenko, can he summon up some energy into the dying embers of this one and his ambitions of moving forward? Well, they've been put pay to by the red belt, no less, of Nikolai Spajic. Imagine how good he's going to be when he gets his black belt. He wouldn't want to be in his club in Serbia. Top class stuff from Spajic. And he advances in fine style. An upset win. Lovely show of respect. So much effort goes into the preparation and the fighting, but it is a single combat elimination. Winning you're through, and lose and you're out, and that is the case for Nazarenko and Spajic respectively, and it is the Serb still in contention. And as you'll know yourself, if you're a fighter or you're watching on for friends and family who are competing here, sometimes when you get a tough fight like that, it can really serve you. It gives you the confidence. You overcome one of the top seeds. And Spajic, well, will he be a contender? Confirmation if it was needed. Spajic is advancing. We will of course advance to the next match here. You just see, I think it's Russia and Morocco readying themselves. Serge Sambona calling them in. Former fighter from France, turned referee, highly experienced. Olympic and now Paralympic experience. Just helping Mohamed Atif from Morocco with the head guard on there. Of course, in para taekwondo, no kicking to the face. The fighter's safety is paramount. And you can see a slight, well, not even slight, a significant height advantage. Well, we can call it an advantage. Let's see if Mohamed Atif, well, if he can be quicker and more elusive, or will it be Magomed Zagar? Is Atif on the inside? Izal Delbirov left a space there. But it's a good start from the Moroccan. Takes another little shot on the inside. Gamjon for his trouble. Nice double kick. Well, we spoke about, is it a height advantage? It hasn't been so far. Izal Dirbov, the Russian, been caught by the quick footwork of Atif so far. Mohamed Atif on the back foot, skips in, good back kick attempt there. Izal Dirbov trying with the 3-point shot. And Serge Sambona, well, he's going to help the Russians' cause here. The Gamjon for holding. 2-point gap. Double kick again there from the Moroccan Atif. He's got Izal Birov in a little bit of trouble. Izal Delbirov missing with the back kick. Signs of confidence from the Russian just beginning to improve and increase. You don't throw the back kick until you get the chance. Get your distance right, get yourself organised. And he's found himself, well, he's 4 points down. And at the end of the first round, 6-2 in favour of the Moroccan. So here we go, second round, ready to rumble here. It's not an insurmountable gap for Team Russia. But Mohamed Atif, well, he'll be hoping to increase the lead. He's been good value for it. Tries for the spin there. Atif leaning on here. Well, the expansive and creative techniques, they take a lot more energy when you're throwing spin kicks and doubles. It's the fast twitch fibres in the legs that are firing, and they can gas out quite quickly. So can Izal Delbirov of Russia slowly pull himself back into this one? The Moroccan's gone a little quiet here. Tries the double again. Commentator's curse. Pulls himself back into it, as does Izal Delbirov. Did he score that? Yeah, good work from Serge Sambona. During the clinch, you're not allowed to grab and kick around the corner. So we'll go back to 8-4. And the Gamjon will change that to a 5-point game now. And just some running repairs to the Dobok. Of course, we talk about the physical capacities of each athlete. Have to roll up the Dobok to make sure that their movement isn't unencumbered, so they can block cleanly and clearly, and so that the legs don't get caught up within the Dobok. They're getting caught up in a real fight now. Good shot from Izal Delbirov. He's pulling himself back into it. Strayed a little bit high with that. It was close to the head. Atif was not happy with it. He'll be less happy. It's a 1-point game now. They'll cancel that. It's all square. Magomedzagar, Izal Dalbirov, the big name in Taekwondo. Can he write himself into the medal matches for later in the day here? There's plenty of steam in all the shots from the men in red and blue. Well, Mohamed Atif started really quickly. Izal Dalbirov really pulling himself back into this one now. What a match we've got here, guys. 9 apiece, and the third round beckoning. I was going to say the third and final round, but of course you can have the golden point score if it's all tied up, as it is at the moment. Izal Dalbirov against Atif. Customary show of respect. Back kick just landing a little bit low there. Izal Dalbirov, he had to climb the Moroccan mountain, so to speak, and he's now reached the precipice in the lead for the first time here. Mohamed Atif. Izal Dalbirov looking for the extra point for the back kick. A more difficult technique. There is in fact a video replay. It is indeed a video replay from the Moroccan in the red corner. I think just trying to read the international sign language of Taekwondo, it looks as if there was a kick to the head, which isn't allowed. And Serge Sambona rightly just ruling that one out there. Mohamed Atif, well, he still has time, the Moroccan. Can he summon it up? We talked before about that explosive, quick style. He had the game plan right, had the tactics right. But those double kicks take a lot out of the tank. And slow and steady has won the race so far for Izal Dalbirov. Lots of Taekwondo left in this one though. And that's going to get from bad to worse for Mohamed Atif. Breathing heavily now. And breathing down his neck, Izal Dalbirov. 15-9, last 50. Here's the big spin kick, uses a lot of energy, doesn't score. We saw that was why the Dobok was adjusted, the Taekwondo body protector. Atif gutted there, pounds the ground. Putting a bit of a beat down now at the moment. Izal Dalbirov, the Russian. And Team Russia came in with high expectations. And it's a low turning kick that separates them again. Good double kick counter there, Izal Dalbirov. Well, that one landing just a little bit south of the black belt. Serge Sambona is going to have a little conversation here with the doctor. Yeah, you can just see for yourself. Not much medical treatment you can do for that. It's just a low kick, unintentional, but despite the lack of intent, old school approach of jumping on your heels to try and ease the pain, but the pain of defeat is going to be potentially worse. I say that because the Gamjon, well, it makes it a 10-point game, and we know that Mohamed Atif, he can throw the big techniques, but he's got so little time in which to do it. 20 seconds left, 20-10 on the board. The 2017 World Championships, it looks as if it's going to be Magomedzagar, Izal Dalbirov. The Russian, he's been great value for it. He was down all the way through, and here in the third round he's come on strong and Mohamed Atif, leg weary, finishes with a big spin. He's going to get his just rewards in the end, though. It is Izar Dalbirov. Great performance, lovely show of respect from both. Mohamed Atif absolutely out on his feet there. Exhaustion for the Moroccan. But it is advancement for Izar Dalbirov of Russia. Well, now that puts us into the latter stages of this opening session, there will be 2 more matches on court number 1. And they will get underway in just a couple of moments' time. 2 more matches on court number 1. The referees are ready. And the fighters have just been summoned up. Of course, because now we're into the quarter-final stages. Athletes are in the holding area, resting, recuperating, and planning their attack. Well, this is the penultimate match of this session. The referees are in position and we're just waiting for the athletes. They of course have a 15-minute gap between each matches for their own health and safety. In the Para World Championships you can be fighting 5 or 6 times in one day, so obviously they have to have a correct protocol. When you finish competing you have a little rest and then you're ready to go again. As you can see, it will be Mongolia against Russia. Ovin Suren of Mongolia against Kupiv of Russia. Both fighters know each other well. Fought at previous World Championships. Ovin Suren of Mongolia emerged the victor on that occasion. He will go in blue for this one. Kupiv, the Russian. You can work out for yourself what colour he's fighting in. And they're of course fighting for access to gold, silver and bronze. And those medal matches await. We'll of course have an opening ceremony at 2 p.m. Just the athletes readying themselves. just to update you, both athletes are ready. They're just getting their body protectors checked to make sure that the technology is working, so that we can get on to the free scoring matches, which have been of top quality. I hope you've enjoyed the opening stage. Lots more to come. So of course this will only add to the tension for both fighters. They're getting themselves warmed up here, just off the mat. Ovinsaren of Mongolia against Kupiv of Russia. Ovinsaren, the man in blue.
Athletes required for the following matches: 119, 218, 318 and 417. Will the athletes please make their way through immediately to athlete processing area? Once again, matches 119, 218.
Insight into the practicalities of readying yourself for combat there in para Taekwondo.
At the athlete processing area.
Protectors are working. It's time for the penultimate match here on court number 1. The World Para Taekwondo Championships.
These matches once again are the last matches.
A little check of the scoreboard there from Ovinsaren, the Mongolian.
218, 318,
Occasion to talk with Hoyin Young, the coach
matches
for Mongolia.
due to start.
Run the rule over the training methods of Ovinsaren. They work a lot on confidence and sideways movements. He's going to have to move well because Kupiv has obviously read that textbook. He's landed a nice shot of his own. 2 to the good for Kupiv. Maintaining and sustaining that lead, the Russian, as we creep towards the last 40 seconds. It's been a good opening round. Back legs of Ovinsaren haven't worked so far. Kupiv good on the counter and good value for that 4-point lead. Okay, here we go. Round number 2 here. Kupiv against Ovinsaren. It's a useful lead for Kupiv. Ovinsaren up against it, tries to score, gets a little 2-pointer on the board here. crossing battle here. Not much to choose between them in terms of distance, but it's the quality in terms of landing the technique that's working well for Kupiev. Kupiev trying to get back into this one. And it's a good shot from Avunsiyaren, the Mongolian. Not giving this up without a fight. Still a full round to go. Last 10 seconds. And a good second round. Kupiev restores normal order for him. And he's looking to get out of this round quickly. Breathing heavily, the Russian. Good shot from Avunsiyaren. A 5-point gap into the last round. Here we go, round number 3. Kupiev, 5-point gap. Avunsiyaren trying to work his way forward. Kupiev, well, he's been good value for it so far, the Russian. Avunsiyaren still has a minute to try and pull himself back into it. We've seen the staying power that he's got. Can he rely on that stamina down the stretch here into the last minute? Knocks Kupiev back. Can he get a score on the board? He can. He's got himself into a 4-point gap now. Kupiev under a bit of pressure, working always. 4-point gap now into the last 40 seconds. Back kick attempt there from the Russian. Lands it clean this time, pulls himself into the lead. Last 30 seconds now, 6-point gap. Well, there goes the flying glove. Or was it the foot protector? I think it was the foot protector. Well, it's hard to score on electronic protectors if you've not got the socks. That gives us a little chance to talk about them. There's sensors in those socks, and they hit against the protector with good power and impact. They will score automatically. Getting himself ready for the last stages. Well, that will be a useful timeout. Good work from the corner judge there, just stepping out with the little wardrobe malfunction. And those 24 seconds, well, every millisecond counts. You can get a little rest and recover your energy here. Avunsiyaren trying to recover his fortunes here into the last 15 seconds, but it is the Russian hanging on in there. Georgi Kupiev, well, he knocks Avunsiyaren to the mat, and he's certainly put paid to his ambitions. And the foot protector, good work from the ref. We talked about the milliseconds ticking away. Every millimetre counts as well in terms of distance. Can Avunsiyaren find a miracle in the last 6 seconds? Kupiev closes the door with the back kick. What a shot. Excellent from Avunsiyaren. He's fought to the finish, but it is all over now. Good effort. Avunsiyaren of Mongolia. Top class from him. But Georgi Kupiev, well, he completes the penultimate match here in this opening session of the Para World Championships. Confirmation there. Georgi Kupiev. the man from Moscow, deserved winner. And we will complete our action here with Greece against the USA. Panayotopoulos against Sabates. Felix Sabates of the USA ready to go here in this one. It's the men's under 75 kilogram, the K44 classification. It is the final match. Here we go. This one, the last action from the opening session here. Nice show of respect between both fighters and respective coaches. Felix Sabates of the USA tries with the back leg, shifting around the corner. Vasilios Panayotopoulos, the man from Greece, working away here, tries with the back leg tourniquet, good block and cover on the way through there from Sabates. Panayotopoulos, good footwork from the Greek in blue. That is the power of Sabates there, pushing forward. And Panayotopoulos topples over. Been the control of distance so far from Felix Sabates, the American in red. Good value for this one. Well, into the last 30 seconds or so, the American, by virtue of that Gamjon, has the lead. Panayotopoulos has a little look at the scoreboard, tries to engage in a bit of kidology, leans down, lovely back leg turning kick there from the Greek, finds a shot and finds himself back in this one. Felix Sabates battling away. He's been so good on the offensive. Has he been too aggressive? The referee's having a look. No, happy not to give the Gamjon. Clean and clear fighting from the American. Not much clear daylight so far. Panayotopoulos just in the lead. Has he strayed off the edge of the mat? Well, he most certainly has. 2 points apiece now. Team USA. A crumb of comfort, back leg. Well, that landed lower than he would have intended. And of course we will now have a medical intervention. Back kick south of the border. And of course we'll just have to draw on his fighting spirit, Felix Sabates, to try and recover. Unintentional from Vasilios Panayotopoulos. Panayotopoulos, of course, offering his commiserations for the low blow. Unintentional, but it's been full of intent from Felix Sabates. He's battled his way through here, lands another 2-point shot right on the buzzer, and the American, good value for a 3-point lead. Vasilios Panayotopoulos up against it now. Well, here we go. It's been an engrossing battle so far. Vasilios Panayotopoulos against Felix Sabates. It is the American with the 3-point lead, and it's been virtue of controlling the distance, working his way forward aggressively. A customary show of respect, but it is an attempted back leg turning kick straight away there. Panayotopoulos trying to get on top here. So far it's been the concentration of Sabates, moving around controlling that distance, and he's giving, well, the more senior Vasilios Paniatopoulos, the older fighter, putting the pressure on him, sapping away at the strength of the Greek fighter, who to his credit is trying to punch on the inside. Of course, punches don't score. Absolutely exhausted now, Paniatopoulos, reeling and rocking here, and it's been the high octane efforts of Sabates. Paniatopoulos running for cover here. Well, both men wisely taking a step back, having a little breather. Well, they have to reach down into the database of moves and the reserves of energy here to try and find a way back. Paniatopoulos, to his credit, putting on the pressure, the jumping back kick. Well, when you're tired, it's probably the most difficult technique to do, and that's why he took a tumble there. Sabates, well, he's just been all over him like a rash here, just constantly putting the pressure on in his face, and he's in the lead. Well, here we go, eyes down, looking for the third and final round here of the last match on the opening session of the Para Taekwondo. Much more to come, of course. Opening ceremony at 2 p.m. That's British Standard Time, of course, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us, hope you've enjoyed it. And there's still a full round left to enjoy here. Well, I say enjoy. Vasilios Paniatopoulos. It's been precious few crumbs of comfort for the Greek. As they say, tough times don't last, tough people do. Can Vasilios Paniatopoulos find a way back into this one? But he's up against, well, Felix Sabates, whose control of distance has been masterful, kicking at the right time. Well, what intensity the American is bringing here. His conditioning spot on. Paniatopoulos, well, he has to take a breather there, and takes another 2-point shot. No questioning the heart or the effort of the Greek fighter. Tries with a couple of skip-ins, both missing. But missing nothing at the moment. Felix Sabates, well, he's been smooth all the way through. It's been a great start from the American. And he's going to be ever closer to the medal matches. This one, the round of 16, creeping towards the quarter-finals. So medals in the distance. Last 30 seconds now. Felix Sabates, well, he has subdued the efforts of Vasilios Paniatopoulos, and he is going to come out on top of this one, no question. The Greek, well, he's absolutely out on his feet here. Sabates, a little fake, a little look, and a final chip in charge from the man in blue. But it's been Sabates who's been in charge all the way through here. Aggression, intensity, tactics and timing. And Felix Sabates, well, he's on to the quarter-finals. Oh, we've seen a little bit of everything in terms of Para Taekwondo today. The spinning kicks, the double kicks. What we have also seen, the fighting spirit of the men and women of Para Taekwondo. They've treated you to a fantastic opening session. As you can see for yourself, the opening ceremony from 2 p.m. Join us again for that if you can. And thank you for joining us for the opening session of the Para Taekwondo here on day number 1 of 4 days of Taekwondo here at the Copper Box in London. For all of us here in London, for the moment, it's goodbye for now.